And we're back to another episode of the Mike and Sully podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Sully.
And by the time you're listening to this, it'll be the year 2035. Thank you, Whale, for another excellent introduction. No rust at all from the Whale with that live performance. If we seem a little rusty, please forgive us, but the Whale was spot on with that one.
No surprise there. A professional.
Yeah. So we actually want to kick off the episode with 2 public apologies.
Oh.
Because the first one should just be, where have we been?
Right.
Where have we been? People have been waiting.
Busy bees.
I've heard that primarily from you. No one has really reached out to me to say that they've been clamoring for more episodes.
I've heard 3.
Okay.
3 reached out,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Big fans.
Big fans.
Did we check the email?
I checked the email.
Nothing.
Religiously, because I was worried about public apology number 2, which is, if you have been a fan for a while, and you probably checked weekly-ish for new episodes, there was an episode up, our Kickstarter to Season 5, and it was a very, very special Mother's Day episode, with a lot of creativity and just effort overall put into it.
Lots of thought.
Lots of thought. There were gifts exchanged.
Lots of gifts.
There were games that were designed. There was a new house
reminiscences
that was kindly hosted.
Yes.
Yes. Wildlife was involved in a way.
Yawns.
And all of that culminated in what can only be described as probably some sort of atmospheric pressure that impacted the audio quality of the recording.
Yeah.
So last I checked, for that particular episode, Season 5, Episode 1, I think it had 10 listens. And to those 10 of you, I am personally willing to send you a personalized Mike and Sully mug signed by the hosts.
Wow, that's fun.
To make up for what you may have encountered. I don't want to get too much into the details because it would probably bore people, but overall what happened was we did our due diligence. We were in a new home trying to record this special episode. We did test runs of the audio. Multiple test runs of the audio. And then when I got back into the studio to mix it, it just sounded... That's what's so funny, is that the audience doesn't know how... They think that I'm referring to the audio that they might have listened to. I mean, I do that little ramble at the beginning to clear that up. But the audio from this mic right here is what was really bad. It was like echoing, and I'll try and play for you once we wrap this up so you can hear it, because it's actually kind of funny. Hey, I'm mine. But then, so then, we went with the iPhone microphone, and it just wasn't quite doing the job. I got self-conscious about it, because we already have history with other bad audio episodes, so it has been taken down. It's been taken down for now. Hopefully in the future, we'll play some audio tricks on it, and that'll fix it up. But I just wanted to be open and honest about that, probably a month after we've recorded the episode.
Yeah.
So
that was a bummer.
Yeah. So,
but we roll with the punches. And we're back in the saddle, and we're gonna keep recording 2 more seasons.
Our destiny is to keep recording. Was my ego just the slightest bit bruised? It was.
From the quality of the recording?
Yeah, I said, man, what are we doing? What have we gotten ourselves into?
What do you mean?
Well, I think it's a good thing that I care so much about it. But, you know.
I think it's great.
That episode in particular?
That episode sucked.
Okay. Not the recording, to be clear. We had fun with...
that was fun, but that's what made it all the more terrible that it went so poorly.
That's what I'm saying. So, I want to come into this episode with gusto. And I don't think I could be coming in with more gusto.
Okay. Do you think I'm coming in with gusto?
I hope so. You've redone your hair 3 times already. I don't even know if you're listening to me.
That's rude. My hair's bothering me. I hate when I see it and I'm like, what is that?
That should be a fun game we put to the audience, is every episode count how many times Sully changes her hairdo.
It's probably like 6 or 7 on average.
Which is bananas because I think I only notice it afterwards.
Really?
Like when I'm watching it to edit, I usually don't. I just notice now.
Well, because you're so theatrical with your storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know.
But no, gusto-wise, I think you have gusto, because you've been, the last 2 days, you've been sending messages like, wow, I can't wait
excited.
to...
Thrilled, I think I said.
Record again, yes. Yeah. And then I, on my side, have told a new coworker of mine, look out.
Be ready.
This episode, I'm going to tell him this is the episode he should listen to, because he's been asking.
Yeah.
Where should I start? And I was like, you should probably start chronologically, honestly.
But I also think it's funny for people to see us in full swing and then go back to season 1, episode 1.
That is true.
Because that's just silly goose.
That is true.
Honestly, probably most
Which you'll get a taste of that, because I said, listen to this episode to get a taste of what we're like.
Nice.
And then if you enjoy that, then just go back and enjoy.
All the way through.
Yeah. I said, you'll burn through the first, 3 episodes because they're shorter.
Yeah.
And then...
and now we're chatty.
And yeah. The camera just makes us want to keep talking.
We can't stop. I would like to point out to the listeners that we haven't seen each other in, so long.
Yeah.
Is this the longest we've gone without seeing each other?
Since... How long did we go without seeing each other after I first moved out of the house we cohabited?
I think a long time, but that felt like we weren't living in the same town, so it felt more reasonable. We haven't seen each other since our last recording, and that's horrifying.
Baffling.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And also, he said that our friendship was still good today, and that sucked.
I followed that up by saying that she could be my best matron.
Also, matron sounds so frumpy. I hate that. Anyways, so if you notice that we're off at all, it's because we're kind of strangers at this point.
Right.
Hardly know each other.
What has been going on?
Who are you?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Well, obviously, 2025-wise, definitely the longest.
Yeah.
Most of 2024, but all of 2024 too. When did you move back up here?
A year ago. Well,
okay,
I think we closed early April. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Great move.
Right.
I appreciated it.
Yeah. Same.
So let's just not do that again.
Not do that again.
It's June. We're
halfway through the year, but we're only 1/3 of the way through our.
Remember, we didn't say our goal was 3 seasons. We said we would start
once the idea was planted,
a 3rd season.
I can't.
All right, fine. We'll knock them out.
But that means our December is going to be so packed.
We'll do 2 days, and it'll be okay. These almost ghost-like 2-a-days that keep getting mentioned and never happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you receive our letter, by the way?
Not yet.
Oh, it's a doozy.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna probably scream when you open it.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna love the card so much. Not what it says.
Oh, just the card.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
No, I haven't received it yet. Very excited to.
And then we'll be receiving ours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've been slacking. Actually, that reminds me. I have another card I need to write to someone.
Okay, sure.
Gosh, this pen is the worst.
Wow. Well, yeah, the only thing we forgot out there was the calendar, because I feel like June is going to be.
I was thinking about that.
Are there going to be hangouts that are knocking out June events?
Thursday.
Right. Yes.
Okay, that doesn't feel.
I just don't know my calendar yet. I don't know my calendar, and we've been wanting to go do yoga in the park.
Great.
Or yoga at Gasworks Park in Seattle.
Why?
I don't know. They do yoga there. It's cool.
Okay.
Old middle school friend of mine, goes.
Do
sometimes.
I know this person?
I think you would know her name, but I cannot think.
Can you say her name and bleep it out?
Oh, that's that. Can you write down the timestamp?
Oh.
The time. Yeah. I'm like, what?
I can't read it.
10. Just write down 11 minutes. And it's
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, her sister's a pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
pretty sure.
I thought so.
Pretty sure you're right. But yes, she posts about it every once in a while, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And my favorite thing this summer that I haven't done yet, but it's I want to try and pinpoint things that I can do in the same shuffle of going and doing my job. So I want to be able to say all summer, Monday through Friday, I didn't just come home from work.
Nice.
And just do nothing.
Yesterday you didn't do nothing.
Right. Yeah, so things like
You're
that.
Off to a good start.
That was a brand new experience. I'd never ridden the Sounder before.
Nice. How was it?
For the summer, the ferry is better. For the winter, I would probably prefer taking the sounder.
Really?
But the thing that the sounder...
Well,
so I'm saying the ferry is so scary during the winter because I go early and I can't see and there's bigger waves that I would rather take the negatives of the train, which I think are spacing. So even though I think that the ferry seats are pretty tight, the sounder seats are very tight.
Right.
Especially legroom wise too. You literally, like, if there's someone sitting across from you, you cannot extend your legs at all. So that's a problem.
But you wouldn't drive from here to go there to get on the
Oh,
train.
I also wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying in a vacuum.
If you could do both.
I could do both. Yeah.
I understand.
If there were no other factors.
Yeah, okay.
Just commute enjoyment.
Right.
The ferry in summer is...
Is that what Stripes takes every day?
Yeah.
Interesting. How long does it take?
45 minutes, maybe?
How long was the drive from here to there?
45 minutes?
Yeah, that's tough.
But it was worth it. It was worth
Sounds
it.
like it.
Shout out to Stripes. Hoorah, I love this early shout out. I told Sully about our sappy text messages.
Yeah, and about your run.
That too. She hated that.
Well, the run was fine, but the clothing during the run
Email
was
us
fine.
if you think it is bad or just gross of young men to run around shirtless.
Okay, it's not like we live in Florida. Let me just say that.
It was hot out yesterday.
Not hot enough.
That's what I said. Because, so we were going to run originally at 4, but then some stuff went wrong at work, so we ended up getting delayed. So it was 5:30 by the time we're out running. And it was still sunny and it was warm. But so he goes to take his shirt off, and I go, "It's too cold. It's not hot enough for this."
No.
And he just kind of shrugged me off. And then, of course, I said, "Well, I can't be the guy that's not taking his shirt off."
Well, you could have.
No, that would have made me look worse.
No, it would have made you look better.
I think it would have.
If I was there, I would have
pounds.
seen these two guys running by, and I would have said, honestly, love that guy kept his shirt on. He understands. He understands that we didn't consent to that. We didn't need to see naked bodies running around. Okay?
Here's why I think I got away with it more than he did, though.
Okay.
And he pointed this out.
Okay.
And then I kind of started running faster because I just was feeling more confident. Because I was like, man, or he was like, people are gonna think you're just like a cop out on a run with that mustache.
What does that mean?
And because cops.
Actually, a cop out.
A cop out with running.
Wow.
Just with a mustache. And I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm just some or some guy from the 70s. I'm just out on a run.
Huh.
But the mustache is it keeps people's eyes up,
Yeah.
So that's why I think.
That it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does he not have a mustache? He used to.
He kind of has a mustache. And I don't mean that in a rude way. Not like you were both 16 and one of us can grow better facial hair than the other. He just doesn't grow it out very much.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But I would say
he also has lighter hair. It doesn't show up as much. I feel
like color.
Yeah. What
You'll find that funny too.
I didn't get that one.
Thinning.
Oh.
But you weren't making that joke. I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You've made that joke multiple times on here. I've never noticed the volume of your hair.
We have not noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a good one. Yeah. What was the other thing? We talked recently about when you guys were in the bakery. And then...
me and him?
Yeah, and then you were like, are you going to get because he didn't get all the items he ordered?
Well, he told me when we left.
Oh, I misremember.
Because we checked out separately, of course, and I was outside, and then he walked out and said...
I just thought that story was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny.
This is not a Stripes episode. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move past.
We don't even talk about your third best friend right now.
Yeah. Let's just dive in then.
Okay.
To the thing you're really excited to talk about.
Well,
I
was going to save that.
You're going to save that?
Because I thought we could do current events first.
Oh, sure, okay.
Just because what's happening?
Sorry, guys, we're figuring it out.
I need to get up to speed on the world, okay?
Yes. Okay. Things that have happened. Elon Musk got kicked out of the government.
Really?
Yep.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Not about that specifically, but you know how he was doing that thing where it was email back if you want to be done till September or something, and people did it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been denied that. And said that
they can't come back?
No, they can't take early leave.
Oh, I see.
Because they're too important. They have a lot of knowledge, and they actually are needed to stay.
Wow.
So
Well, that means our government is working.
So he's not doing anything anymore?
So yeah, no, he got kicked out, and like there's a weird thing where he had like a black eye at like one of the press conferences or whatever. And then anyway, so then he comes out recently and says, because of course like him and the president were very close. So yeah, yesterday he comes out and he's like, "Hey guys," this is on Twitter. He's like, "Here's why Trump won't release the Epstein files. He's on them."
Right.
And then Trump's like, "This guy's an idiot and a loser, and like I offered him makeup for his black eye, but he wouldn't accept it." Now they're just bickering.
That's so embarrassing.
Like a divorced couple.
On social media.
And then people are making these hilarious memes of J.D. Vance as like their kid that they like he's seeing the parents fight.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, I have a couple thoughts.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised if his name was on those files.
Yeah.
Would anyone? Okay. Secondly, why do we take to social media to like have these issues? Like, why does our president do that? Or like a leader in our government? That's so embarrassing.
A counter thought to that, which is, I think obviously like everything Trump does kind of ratchets it up a little bit, but I would love to see like because we put a lot of stress and importance on what valued people in the world do, so government officials, celebrities, what they do publicly, like on social medias. And I think a lot of that is fair, like the pressure we put on them. But my question would be, what if Twitter was raging back in the 70s? Like is it so much that like our current president is just a bananas character? Or like, would Jimmy Carter have been also tweeting things? Like, I don't know.
But like, should he have? Because if, for example, we have people in our community, the mayors of our town,
yes,
who go to social media to complain, and that's so embarrassing.
Talk about current events. That's one of them.
Please.
Yeah, the mayor of our area posted something about a like a proposed tax bill from our governor, and he was like, "That's a dumb tax bill," or whatever. And it's not even him. And I just wish I thought to look it up before we started recording, because I'm not going to be able to remember it perfectly. But basically, someone commented on his post and was like, it made no sense. So like, main post was, "That's a dumb tax bill," or whatever. And then the comment back was, "Yes, I too like want to pee in his mouth." I'm serious.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Someone commented that on the mayor's
that's crazy.
post. So I was like, I don't know if you guys are on the same page right there, but okay.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So that happened.
Okay.
Another thought I had on the Epstein files was, if I were the, I don't know, person who put together that spreadsheet or whatever, it feels like almost so silly to think that there are these, because I picture it, and this might just be me being totally naive. When people talk about them and I literally just picture pages of names, like just on a piece of paper, typed out or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know what it actually is. But I'm just like, what if they just, to try and make the list seem more like innocuous, they just threw random like names in? Like, so like, what if my name's just on there because they were like, oh, this guy, like if his name's on there, it'll look like less of a shady list.
Wow.
Like all celebrities, but then also Mike from Mike and Sully is on there.
Also a celebrity.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really know what it's about either. And I shouldn't accuse the person of being on it, but like, I don't know. Aren't a million
what if
people
we
on
get
it?
shut down for like defamatory comments made against the president of the United States?
I feel like Elon should get shut down first. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so that happened.
That happened.
So what's up with the Doge thing?
But that's still a committee.
Oh.
And yeah.
That he just got booted from.
Yeah, he's just not working on it anymore.
Okay.
I think he also got asked to step down as CEO of Tesla, though. Like the board members asked something.
Is he unwell? Or is he just like...
Define unwell.
Does he just not get along with other... Like, I don't know.
Well...
Like, why is he getting kicked off all of his things?
I don't know, yeah. Just probably being a little too mouthy. Like, for each, like, different groups' takes, so... But, of course, now the left is celebrating him because he said something bad about Trump, but then it's like the left hate... But that's politics nowadays.
I can't handle it.
Yeah. We're out on politics.
We're out. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bunch happening. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Oh, a big one. Taylor Swift repurchased her...
I'm aware and I'm thrilled.
Okay. I figured you'd know that one.
I was sent screenshots of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, the pictures of her are so cute.
In case they don't know.
I've told most of the audience members.
Sure.
But I'll just reiterate. Taylor Swift, as most of you know, has not owned her first handful of albums, has tried to buy them back, has been denied the ability to buy them back, and it's been an ongoing issue for like a decade or more. Right. So she, starting with Lover and so on, the albums after that, she has released on her own and she owns them, but Reputation and Prior, debut through Reputation, she has not owned. And so since she could not buy them back, she's been re-releasing Taylor's version, which is the same songs, but with her new voice, you know, because she was 17 when the first album came out, so her voice has changed in, 10 years or whatever, more than 10 years. And so she's re-recorded, and she's released the vault tracks, which she was not allowed to.
Oh wow, I didn't know that
originally.
Part. Whoa.
Yeah. Either she was told no, or they wouldn't release them, or like she decided not to for whatever reason. But so they each one has 4 to or so vault tracks.
Wow.
So new songs that she wrote in the moment. Anyways, but she officially was able to buy back her music, which includes music videos, all the songs, all the vault tracks, all the pictures and everything that went into releasing these albums, and she now owns them, and it's a very big deal. She already recorded, so she only has Debut and Reputation left to re-record and release.
Yeah.
Debut apparently is already done, and she will release it if she decides she wants to at some point. Reputation, she said she was having a very hard time re-recording because she had to revisit all the stuff surrounding that album, and also I think it was just hard for her.
Was that the Kim and Kanye one?
Yeah, no? And partially Joe, all
right.
But yeah, the Kim and Kanye stuff and the Scooter Braun stuff, which is her not being able to buy back her stuff. Anyways, she said it's hard for her to go back to that place and re-record that stuff. So we don't know if we'll ever get that one. But
that's fair.
She owns her music, which is all we were hoping for. So congratulations, Taylor.
Wow.
And joining us today.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Big one.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter released her new song of the summer.
Oh,
quote unquote.
She has another one?
Well, you know how, right, so she had Espresso last year, so now...
How was that a year ago?
Crazy.
Insane.
But that song did go crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, now she has just released Man-Eater. Man-Eater. Goodness gracious. Man-Child.
Oh. Is it about Barry?
Yeah, that's what everyone thinks, right?
Yeah, because who else?
Man-Eater, Man-Eater. You know that song?
Is that her song?
No, that's a popular, famous song from years ago.
Okay,
sing it again? She's a man-eater, make you work.
I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Rihanna?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, Man-Child. Yeah, she released...
Is it good?
I didn't listen to it all the way through.
So no. You didn't have that problem with Espresso.
I didn't have that problem with Espresso. It's an interesting little bop. I'll give it another try.
Did you listen to Chapel's newest release a couple weeks ago?
I'm a big Chapel person.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
I haven't gone back to listen to it, so... Okay.
Other current events...
Tariffs have stopped?
No, I thought they were back on. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Tariffs
I don't know. Legally, I'm not able to speak on that.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm not in those conversations, so I actually probably could try. But, yeah, that's really all I can think of that's, relevant.
Okay.
Oh, and then, we've done government, music, a sports modern event, the Stanley Cup Finals, which is hockey, are going. There's a game happening right now. I'm recording it.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to watch it tomorrow while Celia's at work.
Oh, nice. It's good.
So just
weekend.
Remind me not to check the score.
Okay.
Great. But anyways, it is between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Okay. And they played last year in the finals, and the Panthers won. Okay. And so it's a repeat.
Wow.
And it's fun because every year over the last probably 4 years, I cheer for the Canadians. You got to cheer for a Canadian team.
Canucks.
Because the Canadians have not won a Stanley Cup since, I want to say, 1990 something.
Wow.
And so it's a big thing. Everyone talks about it every year of is this the year a Canadian team's gonna? Because it's hockey's the Canadian sport,
right?
And so now it's been so long. Whereas they dominated early.
Yeah.
So Edmonton has won 5 or 6 Stanley Cups, but they were all back in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
I think maybe one in the 2000s. The Canadians, Montreal, they've won a bazillion Stanley Cups.
I thought you just said that no one's won them since the 1990s. No Canadian has won since the 1990s.
Oh. Then maybe they lost.
You just said they won in the 2000s.
Maybe they made the finals in the 2000s. I know it's been a long time. Thank you for catching that. I believe they lost.
I had
in
my
the
listening
2000s.
ears on.
Yeah, good. I believe they lost in the finals.
Okay.
Yes. So send an email if I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the 90s, early 90s.
Hockey
fans
/ Mike and Sully
hockey heads
mix.
So yeah, that's just a fun little piece of history.
Very exciting.
Right now, the Edmonton Oilers are up 1-0 in the series.
Okay. Ow.
What was that?
Sorry. You know when your neck does that thing?
I don't.
My muscle just felt like it exploded.
Whoa.
I'm okay. It does that sometimes.
Okay.
Sorry. My mom's gonna call me when she hears this and ask if my neck's having issues. No, it's not. It just sometimes when I do that.
Totally understand.
Okay, a little tweak.
I'm so sorry. That scared me.
Okay.
So yeah,
so they're up 1-0.
Yep. And then if they win the series, they will be the first Canadian team to win since
the 90s.
Potentially
Probably.
2000s.
Definitely in the 2020s. Though.
Right, easily the 2020s for sure. Lock that in.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, one more pop culture current event is that Haille Steinfeld married someone.
Josh Allen, go Bills.
Oh, go Bills. Josh Allen.
Go Bills.
Which is a perfect segue into our main conversation topic of the day.
The main course. I can't think of another thing for it.
The movie Sinners.
Yes.
Which we both watched.
Yes. We saw it in theaters. I'd like to make that clear.
We saw it at home.
Which is good. We're getting 2 different experiences.
So I guess you could start with your rating. And I'll get to my rating at the end, because I really need to process and talk about it.
Okay, sure, yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I gave the movie a 9.0. Just a flat 9. I almost gave it a 9.2, but then I dialed it back a little bit.
What made you dial it back?
Yeah, so the movie is coming to an end, and I'm like, I think this is like a 9.2, 9.3 movie. I was having a great time.
Okay.
And then, and this might be a hot take, I thought it just went on for too long. I thought it could have ended. And then it was like, oh no, here's a little bit more.
Okay, well...
Here's a little bit more at the end.
Maybe we'll talk about it, and then tell me where you think it should have ended once we go through it.
Oh, also, spoiler alert.
We're going to talk about every part of this.
We're going to reenact the film.
I'm going to be Smoke, you'll be Stack.
Yeah!
Okay, so a synopsis. The setting is Louisiana, I think, in the 1930s.
I thought it was Mississippi.
Mississippi in the 1930s?
I can't, yeah. Somewhere in the South.
It's in the South in the 1930s. And there's kind of 2 storylines going on. There's this storyline of just the experience of
minorities, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Jim Crow laws in that area. But then, so there's just all of that going on, and you just kind of like see their life, and then these two twins move back to town, and you just kind of like
smokestack twins.
The smokestack, one smoke and one stack, and you just kind of start to see like them interacting with people and that sort of thing. And then unrelated is another storyline of this. You basically just get a clip of this guy who's on like kind of burning on fire.
Looks like he's on fire.
Being chased by a Native American tribe.
Yeah. I don't know if they ever named the tribe.
Yeah.
Or if it would have been a real tribe.
It was named in the Wikipedia synopsis that I read. But I can't.
Before or after you watched it?
During, because I got scared and I had to see if it was okay for me to continue. Anyway, so this guy's burning.
Yeah.
And he runs up to this person's house, this husband and wife, and asks to come in because he's being chased by people. And they let him in. And then the tribe shows up and they're like, we need to get that guy, don't listen to him. But they've already let him in the house. It's the wife who's at the door. And she closes the door, tells them, oh no, he's not here, closes the door, goes back to the back room to where her husband and this guy are. And her husband is on the floor covered in blood. And the guy is sitting there. He's a vampire.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Or should I say, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Because of the cool music that would always play.
Yeah, the music was cool.
Yeah.
And basically it's just, you kind of get snippets of these two storylines until they overlap.
Right.
And then they go. And it's kind of
crazy. Well, and even more so the division of Smoke and Stack's POVs as well.
True.
Because, like, they separate pretty early. And then you see them go about their business.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to keep going through what happens? Should we just outline what happens? Or no?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Let's just so right now we've already spoiled a little bit. This is a heavy spoiler zone for probably the next 3 to 5 minutes. And then just so we'll outline the story that way people can kind of understand if they don't want to watch the movie, what at least we're talking about. If you want to watch the movie, go watch it and then
watch it and come
yeah.
back.
So basically the whole point of the Smokestack Twins is that they're back in their hometown to start up what is called what they called the juke joint, or a juke. So like just a dance hall bar thing. Are you serious? That's what you had?
It's gone.
Wow.
That sucks.
What you didn't hear there was Sully trying to sneeze.
And then it went away.
And then, stuttering twice.
It's right there. Okay, they're back in their hometown.
Yeah, so they're back in their hometown. They want to open up a bar / music hall, basically.
Is it during Prohibition, by the way?
Well, I thought that would have ended by then if it was the 1930s, but I can't remember. I don't know American history well.
I don't either.
Anyways, no, I feel like it would be so hard, because I don't know. Then again, they were doing shady stuff up in Chicago, so alcohol could have been... It just seemed like the alcohol was so readily apparent that it wouldn't have been illegal, but then again, who knows? Anyway, so they're trying to open up their own thing, and the two twins split up to go basically prep for the day. They also swing by a cotton field to pick up Sammy, who is kind of another main character, a younger fellow who...
Their cousin.
Yes, thank you. And he's going to kind of tag along with them for the rest of the film.
His dad is the preacher in town, so they call him Preacher Boy. And his dad has warned him not to,
hang out with them.
Hang out with those cousins, because they're kind of they have a reputation. They're kind of bad guys,
gangsters.
I guess. Yeah. But Sammy doesn't listen to him because they're his older cousins, and they got him this guitar that he loves. It's a guitar, right? Yeah. An instrument that he loves. And so he feels connected to them and wants to go spend the day with them.
Big brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So they kind of go about their things. We're introduced to more characters as they go. And then the one thing that I thought was interesting, or I saw tweets about it, which I thought was really funny, is to pivot over to the Mr. Vampire Man. When we're first introduced to him, like you said, all we see is really that he's kind of it seems like he was burning, and he's sprinting to this house to get inside. But what people point out online is that yes, he's burning, but he also has a bunch a black eye and stuff. So people were joking about how the sun doesn't do that to the vampires. Those Native Americans were beating him up and getting him good. And, they were...
Doesn't he not get injured?
Huh?
Can't he, like... Or I guess he just can't die.
No, he can. I guess their point was, like, obviously, and we'll get to it, later in the film, he seems very... Like, he's scary and he's kind of killing people.
Yeah.
But it's like, he wasn't... Like, they were getting him.
Yeah,
like, if they had caught up to him, like, he was scared, kind of thing. So that was just kind of funny. That you don't notice at first because you don't know who he is or what he is. So, so anyways, they kind of go their separate ways, gather supplies, and then...
gathering people.
And gathering people, because they need people to show up.
They want another musician, they want a bouncer, they want someone to work behind the counter.
Yes.
So they're gathering, like, old friends and stuff who are joining them, and also telling people about their event.
Right. Yep. And so we actually don't even really see any of the setup of the bar itself. Like, we just see the gathering, and then all of a sudden, like, we're there, and it's pretty much set up, and it's like, it's like dusk, almost. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying not to get too into the nitty-gritty, but, like, they open up, and, like, the big draw was Sammy, the preacher's boy, being able to perform there that night, and probably one of the coolest scenes, that I remember was his performance with the different generations.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess can we just mention that?
Yeah,
like
sure.
The opening of it, when it's like, I think it's even like kind of a black screen. Like the very first thing it says is like, some people believe that blues music, I think, can bring people, not from the dead, but like bring spirits back.
Yeah.
And so you can basically see spirits from the past and from the future, and they can all join together from this blues music. Like they're brought to this place, basically. So when he's playing in the scene, you see, it's really cool because you see like dancers and people from like the entirety of human history.
At first I thought it was just going to be like an African American kind of story, and then it branched out.
Yeah.
And
so they have, really cool. So even though it's based in like the 30s, they had like hip hop dancers from like the 90s, or like even now, like
it felt a few more. Yeah. Well, wasn't there a guy playing like a futuristic guitar?
Yeah. Which is cool. But in the beginning, when it's kind of like briefing you on this, it says it also can attract evil. Right. Yes. Or like bad spirits or something like that.
So like pretty much at the end of his song, maybe like all of a sudden it's like boom, and it pans, and it's the three people now who we assume are all now vampires.
The original burning guy, and then the husband and wife that he went into their home.
And so, they clearly are evil, and they look evil. But then when they approach the juke joint, they come up to the bouncer, Cornbread.
Cornbread.
He's great. And they try and get in, but of course, if you know anything about like vampire lore, it's like you have to be invited in.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking zombies the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The eating,
in my head,
very
they were the same.
sophisticated zombies.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, we'll just outrun them because zombies are slow. And then, what's his name? Roz was like, no, like they can fly. And I said, what? Vampires. So that got me.
Yeah, they can zoom around.
I was like thinking it was like, no. Anyways.
Yeah.
But they also put on a good, like, a sneak. They pretend to be folk musicians.
So they're Irish.
Uh-huh.
Which is again, like, from a messaging standpoint of the film, like, that was big, like, the comparison of the plight of the Irish to the plight of African Americans in America, and, like, the Irish with the British. That's, like, a big parallel that they were drawing on, even though they're not the same. But, like, that was what the character was trying to do. The evil vampire, he was, like, trying to buy in of, like, oh, no. Because there's that moment where Smoke's like, are you Klan?
Yeah.
And he's like, sir, we believe in equality.
Yeah. Although the husband and wife were Klan.
Right, yes. Yeah, sorry, that's an important part that makes it so ironic.
Yeah.
And another funny tweet is that people said that I wish I remembered his name, the vampire, the main one.
Yeah, I never.
But whatever his name was, Smoke says, are you Klan? And he goes, sir. And then he kind of pauses, and everyone said that, like, the joke was, because, like, the vampire thing kind of becomes, like, a hive mind, right? You can kind of see that later on as they all start to, he was like, he saw, in that small couple of seconds, he saw all the Klan stuff that they had done. So he was like,
right. Yeah.
We believe in equality.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, no idea if that's true or not. But, so they try and get in to the building, and they are turned away, mostly just because everyone's skeptical of 3 white people showing up, basically. Yeah. Not anything suspicious beyond that.
Yeah.
So.
There is a character, what's Haille Steinfeld's character? Mary, who is a white passing character. Mm-hmm. So she is like, these are all her friends in the juke, but she basically looks like a white person. Yeah. So she knows, since she's friends with them, she was dating or had a relationship with one of the twins, Smoke or Stack, I don't know. Stack. And she knew that they needed money because a lot of the people in there were just paying with not real currency because that's what they were paid in. Right. What's that called? I forget, but yeah. I don't know. When they worked on a plantation, the owners would pay them in like a currency that could only be used at the plantation stores, and that's all they had. Right. Which was obviously useless to Smoke and Stack, and so she knew that they need money, and she said, "Hey, let me go out there. These people will talk to me because they think I'm white, and I'll just try and get their money and get a situation, like feel out the situation, basically." Right. Yeah. So of course she goes out there, and then she does not like it. She goes to leave, and then they turn her into a vampire. Before that, they played one of the best songs in the film. Really? That little Irish ditty. Oh. Will You Go, Lassie, Go. That one didn't stick out to me. Okay, sure. Anyways, just want to call that out. I don't know. I was really, I should say, I was freaked out by the vampires, and so for a lot of it, I plugged my ears and closed my eyes. So I probably just didn't listen. That's fair. Because I was afraid something bad was going to happen, even though that whole scene was not very scary. I think that if this movie doesn't win the Oscar for its soundtrack, it would be a travesty. Oh, for a soundtrack, for sure. I think it was amazing. Soundtrack and sound design. Like, kind of the whole... It's known for that. It's really... And you know who it was. Uh-huh. It was the guy that did Oppenheimer. Of course. Ludwig something. Göransson, I think. Well, he's very talented. Very talented. Anyway, so Mary, is it? Yes, Mary. Gets turned into a vampire. She is invited in because she's friends with Cornbread and everybody, and then that obviously ends up wreaking havoc. Yeah. So. She seduces Stack, and then eats him up, and then they catch that happening, and then shoot her a bunch. And she obviously is unaffected. Yeah, she dies, but then falls down, but then immediately gets back up, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then because you can only kill vampires in a certain way, and then she runs away for some reason. I still don't know why she took off. The other lady gets her with garlic. Yeah, got her with the right. You're right. So she leaves, and then all of a sudden Stack is back up though. And everyone's like... Even though he was... Yeah, his whole neck was missing, basically. So gross. So then they were like, is that really you? And eventually, I think he breaks down the door or something. And so it's really tough on Smoke, because that's his twin brother. But yeah, they're having to make decisions on what to do. Then, the best song of the film is when they're all dancing outside as everyone's getting turned after a bunch of people got turned. And they're doing, the ring around the rosy. So we should also say that, once Stack got eaten, they shut down the juke and they said, everybody leave. Oh, right. Everyone exit. And so everyone went outside. And then they all got turned. Yeah, sorry, that is very important. So it's 30 or 40 out there. Yeah. And then they all start dancing. Because Remick, is that? Yeah. Does that sound like a scene? He starts leading this Irish jig basically with all the vampires, and they're having a great time. And meanwhile, the people inside are like, "That's insane! What is happening?" You shot her, right? Did you see that? Yeah. So, but then they're trying to figure out what to do. One of the people inside studies or subscribes to voodoo, and so is familiar with vampires. And so she told them, "You got to stab them in the heart with a wooden stick." Or they don't like garlic, and you just have to hold out till sunrise, because then they have to leave. They can't be out. Right. So, and that's Smoke's love, basically. Yes, which is important. Yes, it's his wife. Oh, they're married. Okay, yeah. So, so then
And the other important note is that one of the vampires that got turned is the husband of one of the survivors inside. And
yes,
that's
Bo,
very important.
Yeah. Because he went out to go get their car so they could leave.
Yep.
And then he got turned.
He got turned. So then, I don't know if it's too far to jump ahead, but I don't really know what else happens other than deliberations on how they're going to survive.
They all have to eat garlic to see if they're...
Oh, yeah, that was such a stupid scene where she wouldn't eat the garlic.
So annoying.
That was so dumb. And he's just like, I'm going to shoot
She didn't like the taste of it. Yeah, so dumb. And then the other guy chokes on it, and they're like, what's happening? Yeah.
I like that guy.
That was good.
So then, basically, the vampires are still just going to, like, try and get invited in, but wait it out, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But then the wife gets so antsy and angry because they threaten to go kill their daughter.
Yeah, they say, well, we're just going to go leave and go turn your daughter. And then this lady sucks.
Yeah.
She's so dumb. All of them were briefed that you cannot invite them in. If you invite them in, that's what they'll do. They'll come in and they'll turn you on to him.
Oh.
That scared me so bad.
We forgot to turn the AC off. Whoopsie.
It's making a loud noise. Anyways, so they all know the rules, but her husband's out there and talking to her as if he's not a vampire, so that she would go out or invite him in so that he could turn her. Anyways, it's this whole thing.
Yeah.
She gets really upset when they say, oh, we're just going to go get your daughter. And she says...
Yeah. Like, come on in.
Come on in.
Yeah.
And so they do.
Yeah.
And then it just turns into a big fight.
Huge fight. People are dying, getting bit, but they're also killing some of the vampires. And then the sad part is, I forget her name, but
Smoke's wife.
Smoke's wife had told him, like, do not let me turn. Like, if you see me get bit, just kill me. So that way I don't... Because if you get turned, you, like, lose your soul, basically. So you can't, like, go to the afterlife, basically. Yeah. So she's like, just kill me before that happens. So then she does get bit. And then
she's, like, dying, and he doesn't want to kill her, and she said, you promised. You promised.
And
then he gets her with the
And it breaks, like, Mary out of, like, her trance for a few seconds, because she, like, screams.
Oh,
like,
really?
About, like,
I thought it was just because they can feel it, since they're all connected now.
Well, but she wasn't connected.
Oh.
Because he killed her before that, before it set in. So, I don't know, I think that's just, like, you know, people can determine how they think. Yeah. But I just saw people saying, like, they think, like, Mary was briefly, like, so affected by seeing someone that close to her die.
Were they close, though?
I don't know. I mean, they were all family.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyways. So then they're all fighting, and they're trying to basically just survive and get away till morning. Smoke, like, ends up having to fight Stack, and it, you know, basically seems like he kills him. Like it kind of gets to that point where they tackle each other, and then he's just kind of in the position where he has to kill his brother. Trails off. Hilarious, like, line. Wait, what?
Sorry, no, keep going.
I think it's funny, because I keep doing it, is multiple times in the film, I think only twice, but the main vampire guy, he really wants Sammy because of the music, and, like, he'll, like, almost as if he has him on his team, he'll be able to play music and draw more.
Well, I thought it was because since he's a vampire, he's, you know, been alive for hundreds of years or however long, and he can't connect with those who have died.
Right.
Yeah, so when Sammy plays music, he can connect with these people that he's, like, lost, right?
That's definitely what I was thinking. Yeah. But, like, every time he finds him, he goes, Sammy! And I thought that was really fun.
I was laughing at the part where Smoke and Stack are fighting upstairs and Sammy's getting away, and so he, like, runs out the window and then just falls.
That is good, So then, like, it kind of comes down to this final confrontation, and the sun is maybe going to rise, but it's like, oh, it's not looking good for the team. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out that his guitar is made, or has a silver piece to it, so that, like, hurts the main vampire a lot. Yeah,
because he's, like, out in this pond, basically, and the main vampire is, like, closing in on him. They're fighting, and his guitar's, like, floating away, and all the other vampires are, like, on the shore just ready. Yeah. So he's gonna lose this, basically. Yeah. But he was able to, like, hold off the vampire and then reach and hit him with his guitar.
Yeah, which throws him off, and a lot of symbolism there, where, like, people were talking about how the vampire keeps dunking Sammy, kind of like a baptism, and, like, Preacher's Boy.
Yeah, like
kind of
why?
stuff.
Yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
Yeah, so he hits him in the head. I don't know when Smoke comes back into the
See,
fray.
okay, well, not to
Yeah.
show my opinion, but like, yeah, he can just walk up. There's 40 vampires on the shoreline.
They were honed in on what was happening.
And they just let him walk by?
Shared mind.
No chance.
Okay.
No chance.
Yeah, so he kind of just shows back up, and they fight a little bit more, but then basically... Oh, is there a stab?
That's how he kills Remick.
Oh, I thought the sun just fully came up.
No, he kills him.
Oh.
And then they're together, and Remick's dying, which is affecting all the others.
Yeah.
And they're, like, watching it happen, and the two, like, normal people are holding each other. And then the sun gets them, and they're all out, and they can't.
Yeah.
And they die.
Right. Yeah, and then... Whoa, but one piece of information that got let out by the vampires was that the plan was... Wow, this is literally all the way back to the beginning of the movie. Smoke and Stack bought the place from a clan member without realizing it, and the clan member's plan was to sell it to him, and then the next morning come back with all the clan and kill them all, basically.
Knowing that they were all going to be in there,
Yeah.
right?
So that was like their plan in the end, and so the vampires told them that to try and get them to just let them be turned. Basically, Remick's whole thing, which sounds better than it was, but the idea was to create their own community, because like he basically was saying, none of us have a community because of racism, basically. So let's create our own and wreak havoc on everyone else, basically. Wow. At least that's how I took it.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, you're gonna die tomorrow anyway, let's team up.
Right.
And then, but anyways, so then the vampires all die, but then you still have the problem with the clan coming, and Smoke sets up this super awesome, like, trap for him, and basically kills everyone.
Kills them all.
But then also dies.
And also dies, but sees his wife, and they lost a daughter. No, did you cry?
No.
Okay.
I thought it was sweet, though.
They lost their baby daughter when she was teensy, and he sees them both because, you know, they're spirits, and he's dying, and he can see them, and then he, like, goes to them.
Yeah.
And before this, he told Sammy to, like, basically get out of here.
Yeah. And,
like, act, like, do the right thing.
Yeah. And it was interesting because another parallel was his Smoke's wife, Ghost, says something like, you have to put down Smoke, or you have to leave that part of you behind and become, I think his real name's Elijah.
Yes.
And so you have to like leave Smoke behind or something like that, and just embrace his true self and die and join her and the kid in the afterlife, basically. So like he had to leave that part of him behind, and he does, and he goes, dies, and seemingly is happy in the afterlife, whatever. Whereas Sammy gets back to the plantation or whatever it is.
He went
to the church, yeah. Where his dad's in the middle of giving a sermon. He walks in, of course, he looks awful, and he's still holding onto the guitar, or the broken part of it. And we saw this early in the film, they tease it, and then it goes back in time. But so then his dad is trying to get him to let go of the guitar. So let go of Smoke, let go of the guitar. Sammy does not let go of the guitar.
Yeah,
both physically and metaphorically.
His dad told him to turn from that, and come back to them, basically. And he says he doesn't do that.
But how do we find out that he doesn't do that?
Well, so then it flashes forward to 1990 or something in Chicago, right? And it's his picture, his poster on the wall, and it's Sammy, Pearline, right? Because that was his girlfriend's name. Something like that.
Oh yeah, right.
She turned into a vampire.
Right.
And he's playing the blues in clubs or something in Chicago, and he chose his music.
Yeah,
and
he's got the same guitar, right?
I missed that.
Oh, pretty sure. I thought he repaired it.
Oh, maybe.
Huh. Okay.
And then.
Right. Oh, you want me to say it? Okay. Well, then Stack and Mary show back up. Still vampires. There's a whole moment of building tension because the bouncer comes in and is like, "Hey, Sammy, these two people are asking to see you." And then Sammy goes, "Tell them to come on in."
Which is the invite.
Right. And so then they're able to come in. But they're coming in as...
They look normal.
Not
obviously,
hostiles.
60 years later, Sammy has aged a lot, but these two...
Yeah, still look the exact same. And they're dressed as if it's the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
And, but they look fine. And then they have a whole conversation just about how life's going, but how they're not there to kill Sammy or anything. They're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
And I think they made an agreement. Was that like the deal Smoke made with Stack?
Smoke made an agreement with Stack that he wouldn't kill him as long as he agrees never to
hunt Sammy,
never to hurt Sammy. And we also didn't see this, but during all the chaos, Mary ran away.
Right.
So she wasn't in the sunlight. So they're the only two that didn't die, as far as we know.
Yeah.
And he agreed not to hunt Sammy, and so he didn't stab him with the wooden stick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so they come back and he explains that. And then Sammy basically goes into this little spiel where he says, like, once a week still, I'm haunted by that night.
Yeah.
But when I think back on it, I think before all that happened, that was the best night of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stack says that he feels the same way. Last time he saw the sun, last time he saw his brother, like...
They were truly free.
They were truly free.
For a few hours.
Yep.
Yep.
And then it ends.
Yeah. Now, of course, I gave it a 9. But that last scene is why I didn't, like... I thought
you didn't like it?
It was fine. I really think it could have just ended... like, without that scene.
Do you think that we should have found out that he goes to Chicago and still chooses music?
I don't know. I don't think that...
You didn't need that.
I didn't need that. I don't think I needed that.
Here are my grievances.
Okay.
I don't think that a vampire is gonna value that agreement. No chance. Especially after his brother dies a couple hours later.
Well, you have to think... I think maybe a way to think about it would be that Remick had died, so he's not as connected to the hive mind type of thing. So maybe he can value his brother's word a little bit more than maybe he would have had he been under the control.
Yeah, he could.
Okay.
But also that shows that he's like, remembers himself and like remembers his brother and remembers that they had like a great friendship, like values that.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Well, that's fine, but then
your whole point about Remick was how he wants Sammy because he wants to see he remembers his life.
Yeah, I just think it's flawed.
Okay.
And I already mentioned my issue with Stack showing up and not getting eaten. Whoever. Showing up and not getting eaten. Here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I would give it such a great rating if the vampires weren't a part of it. Show me what it was like for Smoke and Stack. Show me them in Chicago, being gangsters, coming back to their hometown.
Okay.
I'm eating that up.
Okay.
Vampire, get out of here.
You were anti.
It's not believable. Okay?
Wow.
I gave it 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10? Oh!
The best thing was the storyline without the vampires. Just untouched by vampires. And the music. Everything else, get out of here.
Wow. Huh.
Yep.
What about the music?
I just said that was the best thing.
But, it didn't raise it even more for you?
Like the music, or like the score?
All of it.
It was good.
Oh, wow. I thought it was so good.
I liked it.
If I showed you I already told you and Roz this, actually. I made that joke about how after we saw Sinners, my on repeat on Spotify was, multiple songs from the soundtrack.
No, it was a great soundtrack. I'm saying that's probably the number 2 best thing about it.
Okay. Extra, white person doesn't like...
White person only likes that storyline. She doesn't like the white people storyline.
She didn't like the vampires.
The vampires suck.
That's true, actually. You're that's funny. Okay, I get your grievances, for sure.
I just think that I was so into it without the vampires. And I was like, this is a great... I want to know what happened with his ex-wife or with Mary.
Yeah.
I want to be right in that. What happened to them in Chicago? I want to know.
Right.
What's Sammy gonna do?
Yeah.
Not get eaten by a vampire?
Okay.
Where's the reality in that?
How would you want the movie to end without the vampires? Because, again, the Ku Klux Klan is still out there.
That sucks.
Yeah, they're the real vampires.
Here's what the people from Chicago that they wronged come to get them, and the KKK comes to get them, and they defeat everyone.
Oh, sure. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But together, backs to each other, just with crazy guns. Yeah, and Mary's there, and the other lady's there.
Yeah.
And the juke turns into a let's kill everyone else.
Right.
See. But okay, also this. 40 people just die. They disappear from your community. No one goes looking. You're kidding me? Sammy, the one person alive, and they don't interrogate him.
I think you're maybe missing a key element here. What type of 40 people died?
I'm aware, but
Wow,
their community doesn't go look for them.
That part is sad, but
Cornbread's wife doesn't say, "Hey, where'd my
I'm
husband
sure
go?"
that happened. Why? Write the story in your own head, imagination.
Ugh, no,
I'm sure
it's
she
just...
asked. That was a very sad part of it too, because she told him to come back.
Yeah.
And then he didn't.
Yeah.
He hit that crazy dance move though.
Yeah. I just felt like there were a lot of gaps.
Okay, speed round of just like rankings out of 10, like on a specific standard. So like gore.
What, did I like the gore?
Not necessarily like how well do you think it was executed? Did you think it looked bad or did it look like convincing?
I wasn't convinced.
Okay.
But like it was enough to make me think I was gonna get bad dreams.
Sure.
So I didn't like it.
Okay, let's revamp. Who do you think were like some of the best 2 to 3 actresses in the film? Like who sold you on their performance?
I really liked Sammy.
Okay, yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I really liked the estranged wife.
Okay.
And
I really liked harmonica player.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Whatever.
He's probably number 1. He's great.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
I really like that guy.
Yeah, he was good.
I'm trying to think of who else stuck out. I didn't really like the Chinese couple because she was
she ruined
idiot.
it. Some people say that the survivors, or like the main group at the very end in the last battle, represented the 7 deadly sins. So
do you say that? How do they represent that?
Well, like, so smoke is wrath because of like how everything plays out at the end with like his quest for vengeance and stuff. The lady who yells out is pride because like she just thinks like her life is more important than the rest of everyone else's safety.
Well, but she also does it because of it. She's trying to protect her daughter, so she thinks her daughter's life is more important.
Never mind.
Well, okay, keep going though.
I'm trying to remember. The harmonica player, I'm pretty sure, was like either sloth or gluttony. I forget which one.
Yeah. What was Sammy?
I honestly can't remember the other deadly sins. Envy's one.
I guess that could
Wrath, pride, envy, sloth, gluttony.
Lust.
Yeah, is that one of them? Oh. That would be Perline, because she cheated on her husband with Sammy.
Oh, was she alive at the end?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I'm talking about that group that ate the...
Yeah, she was...
think about
right.
That ate the garlic. Like, that group.
Right.
Like, and then, who does that leave? Oh, I don't know what Smoke's wife would be.
Yeah.
But whatever that last one is.
Definitely her.
So yeah,
that's interesting.
Were there 7 of them?
I'm not convinced.
Okay, sure. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what did Celia think?
Oh, she loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, we both got a big kick out of it. Probably one of our favorite movies.
We turned it off and I said, well, for context, I'm someone who watches something and then I immediately watch it a second time.
You did?
No, because we turned it off and I said, that's not a movie I'm going to watch again.
Okay. All right.
But maybe, after this conversation, maybe I should give it another watch.
Maybe.
Because you liked it so much.
I loved it.
Okay.
I mean, if it got a 9 or above,
It's pretty good.
what are we talking about here?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should give it another try.
So... also, I definitely think the spoiler warning for 3 to 5 minutes, I think we went past that. I think someone's gonna fast forward 5 minutes, and then they're gonna be like, well, yeah, so then Stack got bit, and he became a vampire.
You said that, and I was like, oh, okay, we're doing a really quick synopsis, and then 20 minutes later, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, oopsie. I feel like that can kind of segue into my music rant, though. Brace yourself for this one, because maybe we'll disagree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see a lot of posts nowadays of people who say, and I'm going to get it wrong, because I always forget which one's which, or like what the word means, but I see a lot of posts on like TikTok and other platforms, but mostly TikTok.
Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok.
Did I know that?
I don't know.
I thought you weren't on.
I re-downloaded it. I said, you know what, screen time, shmee time.
Nice.
A lot of posts saying like hot take for me on religion and society, or like hot take for Christians in today's world. And then it's always like the same hot take, which, by the way, means it's not a hot take. And they go, and you can correct me if you know the proper way to use the word. They go, secular music is like not okay. Because secular means not...
That means of the world, like worldly
right.
music.
Okay.
Wait,
yeah.
so it's Christians saying this?
Yeah, Christians are saying like you should never listen to secular music.
Oh.
Like secular music is out.
Wow.
You should only be listening to like worship music or what have
And
you.
multiple people have this.
I have seen this take a million times in the last few months.
Really?
And here's the rant. And this is coming from a guy who is fighting tooth and nail to talk to a pastor. And the pastor just simply will not respond to my Facebook messages. And at this point, I'm at wit's end. So
yeah.
if you hear this, I'm sorry.
You've been trying. I mean, it's been like 4 months, I think, that you've been trying to...
Yeah. And it's just not working.
Not happening.
Not sure what's going on there, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, so this is not coming from a place of anger at the church. This is coming...
Yeah.
If anyone, I'm just coming from a neutral approach of how to live life. But I think that is such a bad take. Mm. I think that I think there's bad music, for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's probably music you shouldn't be listening to, but I don't think to just limit yourself to only non-secular music. I just disagree. I think there is such... And this is where I'll get really cheesy on you for a second here. Okay. And this all stems from the concert that Stripes and I went to.
Right.
So the openers were a group of 3 known as Parlor Greens. Parlor Greens. Look them up. It's an instrumental band. No lyrics. No vocals. It's 3 guys from like other bands that just have come together recently. They're all like middle-aged-ish. And just the coolest cats.
Wow.
We got a cool guitarist, a drummer, and then a piano player.
Nice.
Like electric keys. Yeah, wow. Yeah. And they come out. I didn't know. So like Stripes and I get to the venue, and we got really close to the stage because we got there
kind of
early.
Visiting or watching?
The main act was The Dip, which is just kind of like an indie pop group.
Do they not come to Seattle?
It's funny you say that. The next day they were in Everett.
Why'd you go?
I don't know. I said, that sounds fun.
Okay.
Driving out there.
It is fun.
Yeah. So we're up front. They come out. I had no idea who was opening.
Right.
And then Stripes leans over and goes, "Oh, they're an instrumental band, by the way." Also, awkward moment for me. I was trying to be funny, and a guy comes out on stage, and I kind of like mockingly clap, and then other people clap, and I lean over to Stripes. And I'm like, they're trying to steal my bit, like of like fake, because everyone always claps when the main act comes on, and I'm like, we're all clapping for one of the technicians, like people that tune the guitars, and then Stripes goes, "That's the lead guitarist." And I was like, oh.
Wow, he knows a lot about this band.
Yeah, I think he probably just did his homework a little bit.
Right.
At least in terms of like who they are. So they come out, and then he goes, "They're instrumental only." And I said, "Oh, okay."
Nice.
And then they do their set, and I left that concert thinking that, don't get me wrong, The Dip was fun and great. Parlor Greens stole the show.
Wow.
It was the best part of the night.
That's cool.
Was listening to them. Again, no words were spoken.
Mm-hmm. How long did they go for?
That's a great question. I would say at least a half hour. I mean, if not 45 minutes.
That's a long time.
I hope I'm not over embellishing that, but it felt like a healthy chunk of time. But not in a bad way, not like it was droning on, but the thing that sold me on it, and again, I am being cheesy, and that's okay. But I felt like almost their whole performance, I just found myself, I was just smiling. I was just smiling while they were just doing their thing.
Yeah.
And like I'll play. Maybe I'll toss in a little snippet of what they sound
yeah.
like in here. I can play you something once we finish recording. But it's like a very unique sound. Like, and you'll get it once you hear it. I was just like, this is so groovy, just so fun, and like they're just and it was like. I had so many thoughts as it was happening because, like, again, they were just these guys who were in other bands, and then randomly, spontaneously, were just like, "Hey, let's make our own and go play just music. We're not going to sing.
Yeah.
We're just going to go play." And like, they don't have a huge following, right? Like, but like, they're just doing it, and I'm like, I guess you know what? I'm never going to give up on my dreams because these guys are doing it. Like, it was awesome. From like a personal standpoint of just like them doing their thing,
yeah.
I was like, we can never give up on the pod now.
Never give
this
up.
is great. So like seeing them was fantastic. All of that, and then to kind of lump in everything I've been saying about Sinners, where it's like this random instrumental group. Then like I'm hooked on these random Irish songs. And I'm just like, and then so then when I see these posts that are so restrictive, I understand the idea behind them, but I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like if I didn't get to hear and enjoy those instances of music, I don't know what the opposite of saying better off is. I'm worse off. I'm worse off, and I mean that. I like even as cheesy as that sounds. Like I think those are very specific scenarios, but like I think people deserve to be able to hear music in all its different art forms. And look, if you're into worship music, great. And I think it plays a very important role in a lot of different religions, but Christianity specifically, just because that's what I've experienced. And like that's really cool and all, but at the same time, I think those hot takes that are really mildly lukewarm amongst the other people that I'm sure flood their feed. Yeah. I just don't agree. I think you should get out there and listen to other things, because, I mean, unless they're going to come back to me and say, like, oh, well, Parlor Greens, they don't have lyrics, they're just playing music, that's technically not secular. What do you mean? Then what is secular?
Okay.
Like, you know?
Here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
I think that if someone truly feels that,
yeah,
then they shouldn't listen to secular music.
Agreed.
If they feel
that.
Yeah, and if they think that, like, I don't think that I should be doing this as a Christian.
Got my foot on the screen.
It's been on multiple times.
Oh, no! Sorry.
Like, if they think in their heart, like, I don't think I should be doing this as a Christian, I think this is wrong, and then they go and do it, then I think that's wrong.
Yes. I am with you there.
So, but I don't think that as a whole, I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
It's wrong.
Okay.
As long as, you feel like it's okay.
Yeah, right. To each their own. Yeah, I'm not coming at these creators for their own take on how to listen. I just think, like, pitching it to other people as if, like, it's this, like, hard, fast rule. I don't know. Maybe you've been reading. Is there a verse that says, thou shalt not listen to Parlor Greens?
Not that I know of, but I'm not all the way through yet.
Right, let me know if that one comes up.
Keep you posted.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my music rant.
Okay.
I just think it's just a cheesy rant of just... the positive side of it is, like, religion aside, I just think music is awesome, and it's an art form, and I think people should, if they're into it, try and experience as much of it as you can. Because I know a lot of people don't really love music.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a big music person?
Not at all.
I didn't think so. I've told people that recently.
I go days,
without
probably
listening.
weeks, without listening to music.
That's fair. I've told people your pet peeve about plugging in your phone to drive 5 minutes.
I lose my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that freaks people out. So I am trying to be, like, cognizant of the fact that if I have people in my car, they don't like not having music.
Well, if you're driving, though, that's a different story.
Well,
I drive without music a lot if I have people in the car because I want to prompt conversation.
Yeah.
If I'm alone, though, I will definitely have something on.
Yeah, no.
So you drive quietly by yourself, or you listen to pods and stuff?
I'll put on a pod, or I'll call people.
Oh.
I call people a lot.
I don't know if I've once
Not
been
you.
called.
Other people.
She says, wow, we haven't talked in so long.
Well, you have... Because I'm driving during the week and you're at work.
That would be so much better. Please, distract me.
I usually try and call people that I think are free.
Okay.
And then we just yap. Or I call my cousin who is working, but alas. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, not a huge music person.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Not everyone is. Yeah. But let's all just be mindful and respectful of everyone's independent music selections.
Yeah.
And again, I will go as far to say that I do think there is bad music to listen to. I just think.
Like what?
I don't think all... Like, I think... I can't even be genre specific because each genre has, like, its ranges. But, like, I would never... Well, let's go hyper crazy with it.
Okay.
Just to make the point clear.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not saying we should be listening to, like, deep down in Dixie songs, like, for the Klan rallies.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that I think is objectively, like, music you shouldn't be listening to. So my whole thing is, like, let's not brand secular music as what's necessarily wrong. I think that's... I don't want to go so far, but I can't think of a better word to describe it, so I'm going to use it. I think it's almost like a lazy way of approaching your own analysis of what's good and what's bad. It's just label something as, oh, that's secular.
That's bad.
So I'm not going to, like, interact with it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's, like, can we get into
Yeah, but I mean, if you think that your whole life should be...
Yeah, absolutely, right.
And it's easy to go down that.
That is true.
So.
Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah.
There's no winner to this. I'm not...
No, we're just ranting.
Yeah,
Only rants.
it's more... Yeah, it's a rant. It's not an argument.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how music has been...
You've had a music-filled month.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And, last thing on music, it's not a rant, it's actually very exciting. Oh, it is a rant.
Okay.
Because I get made fun of for this. I have a thing for an affinity for, and I'm only recently discovering this about myself, I have an affinity for older actors that sing. And I only have an example of two, but it's odd that it's happened this many times.
Ready.
I'm a fan of Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia.
Okay, never seen it.
I am a fan of Russell Crowe in Les Mis.
Never seen it.
If you ask anyone with a brain...
Russell Crowe's not an old guy.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe? Yeah, he's not old.
What is old?
How old is he?
I gotta believe he's in his 60s.
Okay, Dad, please turn off this recording.
Oh, sorry. Apologies, I'm used to calling my mom old, so...
Well, my dad's turning 60 in August. So
oh, that's a big one.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Like, big to celebrate.
Yes.
Not like it's important or anything. Whoops. Late 60s, Russell Crowe. Early 70s. Anyways, if you ask anyone who has watched and listened to Mamma Mia and watched or listened to Les Mis, they will say that those vocal performances are terrible.
That got me off guard. You know what? As you said, I was like, wow, I'm surprised he's like such a good singer.
Yeah, no. People, like, musically inclined people do not like those performances.
Right.
Something about it draws me in. So then, just recently, I discovered that Russell Crowe collabed with Zucchero. Not sure how to pronounce it, but he's a Spanish artist. Musical artist. And they covered a Pearl Jam song.
Wow. Which one?
Just Breathe. And it is fantastic. It is #1 on my on repeat right now on Spotify. I've probably listened to it. I discovered it on Monday, and I've probably listened to it 50 to 60 times just this week.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a big on repeat guy. Yeah. Stripes thought I was insane. But anyways, so then I've been telling people about it, though. So I tell Celia, I tell Stripes, I say, guys, Russell Crowe has the song, you should give it a listen. And they're like, that's terrible. That's not fun to listen to.
I'm going to listen to it now.
Yeah, please do. Watch the music video, too, because it's hilarious.
Wow.
It is two older men who kind of looks the same. They look...
Really?
Russell Crowe kind of looks like Zucchero in this. But it's just them in, like, these peaceful, like, meadow forest environments, alone. So it's the one guy with his guitar playing and singing, and on a bench. And then the other shot is Russell Crowe in a forest on a bench
different
singing.
forest.
Different forest. They're not together. Only 2 shots that are used. It's just them sitting on the benches. And both of them have their dog with them. And then they just sing the song and pet the dogs every once in a while. And that's the whole song.
When was this recorded?
Well, it was released in January.
Oh, so recently.
Yeah, this was very recent.
Oh.
Like, you'll see it and you'll go, oh, wow, Russell Crowe. Like, you're picturing Gladiator Russell Crowe right now.
Yeah.
And that's not what he looks like.
It's okay to age.
He looks fine. Yeah, he looks great. He has long hair, long flowing hair.
Are you sure it's Russell Crowe?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Anyways, watch the music video.
You know what? I'll give that a listen, and then next recording I'll give you my rating.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Okay. I
didn't like the vampires.
Didn't like. Okay.
They're not in the music video.
They're lurking in the forest.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so I was just like, man, these older gentlemen who also sing randomly. Like, why is Russell Crowe? Who reached out to who on that one?
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, did Pearl Jam? Hey, can you guys record our song? I think it's a Pearl Jam song, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I know it's not an original Zucchero Russell Crowe. And Pearl Jam has done it, but I don't know if Pearl Jam might have been covering something.
Right. I'm not up on my...
Email in if you know if it's a Pearl Jam song. Just
Nice.
Breathe. That's what it's called.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Lots to think about.
Yeah. So. What else we got?
We are done.
We hit it! Wow! I promised my new coworker a 3-hour episode.
Wow, I mean, how long's it been? An hour and a half?
Oh yeah, right about.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And they thought we'd be rusty. First 15 minutes,
Chatterboxes.
a little.
A little.
Other than that, we are okay. Yeah. What do we do if the audio turns out bad?
Scrap everything.
Scrap it.
Delete every episode we've ever done.
Who? Mike and who?
That's going to be a bummer if that's the case.
No way. It'll be good.
I'm not reviewing this movie again, so...
Oh, what? You know, I'll be honest. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I thought you liked it. Just the way you were talking about it. And wanting to talk on the pod.
Here's the thing. I definitely liked parts. I really liked parts.
You really liked parts.
Like, it's a 5 out of 10 in spite of the terribleness that I found.
Okay.
Like, the parts that weren't related to the vampire...
Yeah.
9 out of 10, no
so
question.
So you probably,
no
9 out of 10
question.
was probably like the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Up until...
Like the nighttime
yeah.
mess.
Honestly, I didn't even hate the part where, like, they were in the 7 of them or however many were left, and they were, like, kind of trying to figure out how to fight these. But it was, at the same time, it was like, I just didn't need it. I didn't need the vampires. I loved prepping for the juke, getting to know their characters. Loved. Top notch. Great movie. And then just like, why? You know?
Yeah.
So, I really, really liked parts of it.
Okay. Last take before we go, because people have been kind of going back and forth about it on the internet. Do you think this should be like a series of movies? Because people are talking about like a prequel of like Remek's backstory before he's a vampire.
Wouldn't watch it.
Even before he's a vampire?
Wouldn't watch it. No, he grossed me out.
Great. Or like like what were the Smokestack twins doing in Chicago?
Get that movie out there. Great. I need that. You know what would be interesting also is if we could see, I don't know, if they had any like, not close encounters, but if there were any vampires in that world too that they just didn't know about.
Ooh.
I think that would be interesting too.
Did you catch the Italy or Italian versus Irish thing too?
I mean, kind of, no.
How they had Irish beer and then wine.
Yeah, because they sneaked both of them and put it on the other. And
Smoke and Stack were working for the two sides, and that's why Smoke wears like that hat and Stack wears.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I did notice the hats, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Because they look the same, so they could trick everybody.
What?
No. Is that unrelated?
They were two actors.
Huh?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And his brother, Jeremiah.
Stop.
Okay, I thought I had her, folks.
Anyways, I would watch a prequel on them, no question.
Okay. What about a sequel?
You know what else I might do? Yeah, I might watch a sequel on Mary and the other one.
They're vampires.
I know, but I might watch it.
Oh. Shout out. Justice for my man Josh Allen. No more movies with Haille Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan. We can't handle it. Leave her alone.
She did look so pretty in this movie, though. Don't you think?
What are you doing to me?
Sorry. Sorry.
Celia listens to this.
Not as pretty as Celia would have looked.
Right. Yeah. I close my eyes during those parts.
I close my eyes during all the vampire parts.
And your ears.
Yeah.
You said there were Irish songs?
I was afraid I'd be entranced and try to do vampire.
Right. You get seasick or like with the camera spinning. I'm gonna be sick. I almost got sick, but mostly because I ate too much popcorn.
Oh.
I was wolfing that down.
I could go for some popcorn.
Yeah.
I actually bring my own popcorn in. I don't like movie theater popcorn.
Oh, I'm a sucker for some movie theater popcorn.
With the
Yeah. Well, one of them has just a button you press.
Really?
You just shuffle it around.
But that's the other thing. Yeah, it gets on just the top bits, and then it.
That's why you do the.
But
the really professional like movie theaters. Yeah. They spin it. You ever seen those videos? No. Okay. It's great.
I've been there, though, when they fill it up halfway, give it to me, I go do the thing, and then they give me more, and I do the thing.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
No.
All right.
That's about it.
Great. Wow. Well, this was great. What a return to normalcy.
Yeah, we needed this.
Hopefully
I needed this.
Everyone else is, like, enjoying. Maybe they'll listen to it twice, just because they missed us so bad.
Wow, I could see that.
Yeah.
Make it a 3-hour episode.
Yeah.
Just do it twice.
What do you think we should title this episode? Sinners 2.
Yeah, didn't you say you had a bunch of titles? Working titles?
Yeah, that was kind of just a bit, though. Like, I was just kidding. Because I was making a joke about it.
Sometimes you can't tell from text whether you're being truthful or just lying.
You can probably lean one way.
It's always a lie.
How about just Justice for Josh Allen?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
Get the sports people in, and they're like, what are we listening to?
They don't find out till the very end.
Right, yeah.
That's good.
They see my shirt, they're like, oh, yeah, okay. A sports pod. Hot takes with Mike and Sully.
That's good.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hit us up at our email. It's been pretty dry lately.
Yeah, please. If
the
you're a
email?
good friend, you'll write in
to
MikeandSullyPod@gmail.com.
Right.
Type the and out. No ampersand.
Yes. And we will probably record again sometime this month.
I'm free all week.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect.
So
at the market.
Yeah, well,
we have the mics to take on the go.
Wait, well, they have a stage there too. So.
And we're live. Get off the stage.
Yeah, but anyway, so hopefully this week.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Great. We're gonna hit them with what we hit them with years ago, where it's like we don't record for five months, and then we record like 3 episodes, and then they're like, oh, okay, we're back to weekly episodes, and then just a canyon of time.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna do that.
No. We would never do. We're professionals.
Absolutely not. It's only been a month.
A terrible month. You know what sucks about it too? It's not like we said, hey, let's take a month off vacation.
Yeah, we really just...
We just wasted it. So
there was
neither of us
one
enjoyed it.
brief glimmer where I pitched the... And I'm not... This isn't a... Like, your fault thing.
It.
No? Okay. We had talked about, briefly, like a potential remote recording.
Right.
And then it all blew up just because I started reading all your texts as just so mad.
Yeah. Which was not the case.
Do you have your phone?
No.
Oh, great.
Sorry. I can look at my
No, it doesn't matter. Bit's dead. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to restock your cabinets with plenty of... I hate that. And you know what? You know what I've noticed? It's so loud. It is so... Every car that drives down this road is picked up on this microphone.
Well, in my experience, the ones that we highlight, you can't hear. But then the ones that we just, like, brush past and, like, probably...
So loud.
Loud.
Yeah. We'll see where that one lands, because that one felt loud.
That one was loud.
The cop car one, that one was good.
That was good.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Stock up your cabinets with cloves of garlic and plenty of silver and wooden sticks, yes? And watch out for any roaming.
Don't invite them in, and you're good.
Do not.
Like, don't lose control of your emotions and invite them in.
I cannot stress this enough. Do not. If Haille Steinfeld shows up on your doorstep, do not invite her in, no matter what you may be thinking.
Or Michael B. Jordan, or his twin brother Jeremiah.
Right. Or Josh Allen will come hunting for you. Justice for Josh.
Justice for Josh.
All right. On that note, we will be signing off.
Bye.